All right, welcome to the Golf Coach Podcast. Flats, how you going, man?
Mate, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Mate, thanks for coming on. I really enjoy already chatting with you so far before we jumped on. And, I think in Series 2, we're going to try and connect and get something on. But, mate, it's really good to have you here in Series 3. And, introduce you there as Flats, but you're obviously Ryan O'Flattery, golf professional, golf coach from Australia, living in Vietnam. Flats, tell me everything. Everyone knows and listens to this podcast that I'm mad on Asia and I love it, right? Heading back over to Indonesia next week. What's it like living in Vietnam?
Mate, it's great. It's great. The food is good. The food is real good. The heat, you could do without, but it's, you get used to it, mate. But it's, it's great. Great experience. Great for our kids to grow up in a different culture, experience a lot of different things as well. We love it, mate.
Tell me, what's your dish? What's the number one thing to go to if you could get it?
Oh, that's hard. But honestly, it's probably some sort of Korean food, if I'm honest. We live in like an area that's like heavily populated with Koreans, and we have some really close friends who are Koreans. Every time we see them, we're just go to Korean. But I think like Vietnamese, probably the pho, beef pho. Okay.
Yeah,
it's really good.
When you say pho, is that also called pho?
No, well, we call it. Well, sorry. Yeah, Australians call it pho.
Call it pho. Yeah, okay.
It's not.
Yeah, okay. Because one of my golf pros who I coach, he was like, I'm like, what are you up to tonight? He said, I'm going to Vietnamese. I'm going to get some pho. I love it. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but you're calling it pho. What is it? Is it like a it's like a dumpling dish, or what is it?
Yeah, it's just like beef, like strips of beef in a soup with noodles. And they get the broth going for hours before.
Yeah.
And like you can go out somewhere and have like, I don't know, like we have it for breakfast. I remember the first time I had it for breakfast before golf once, the guys goes, look, I'm going to pick up 5:30. We're going to go for breakfast. And we go for breakfast. And we're sitting down the first time I've ever had soup for breakfast. It was really weird, but I felt so
It's wild, isn't it?
It is.
Well, it's wild because in the West, they do breakfast wrong anyway. Like, generally speaking, and I shouldn't say that, potentially some people think do it the wrong way. Because I remember when I first went to India and having like butter chicken and naans at the breakfast, it's wild. It's wild, right? And we have cooked breakfast every morning, but I also make, muesli for the kids. So, it's definitely different. What do you call it? Like, even when I go to Indonesia, there's always two options, right? You can get like the nasi goreng for breakfast, or they call it Western breakfast, I think it's just called, right?
So, mate, it's a long way from Vegemite toast, for sure. So, it was a shock, but it's good.
So whereabouts are you in Vietnam?
So I'm in the south in Ho Chi Minh City. Some people call it Saigon. So it's good. I think for us, I think it's easier to adapt here in terms of just the culture. It's quite different up the north. We spent a little bit of time there, not living, but with a few holidays up there. It is quite different, we find. But definitely a lot easier for us to adapt here, and the weather's a lot more consistent. Like all year round, it's just hot or hotter. We're up there, it gets real hot, or it can get really cold too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
People, that's the kind of something that's a little bit forgotten in like Asia. There is cold spots, isn't there? Like it's the same as when, we go to Lombok, it gets cold as well. Now, so when you're down Ho Chi Minh, there's an airport there. Is that a major airport?
Yeah, that's one of the major ones. There's two. So like I think Hanoi is the capital of the country officially. But yeah, down the south here, there's direct flights almost anywhere around from here straight to to Australia, all the countries surrounding. I think both Hanoi and the south have two direct flights out to most places.
Sick. So, and you coach out of two different locations, is that right?
A couple locations. No, yeah, I was at one place for a while. And we just had an opportunity that came up to work with TaylorMade, which is really cool. And they've opened like a performance center. Yeah, so cool. It's indoor. They've got 4 TrackMan bays, GC Quad. They've got a gym. Sam Putt Lab there, which is cool. And then there's another driving range not too far away that I go to that's kind of really, other than the one at the airport, like here, things don't look too far on a map because the traffic, it takes ages to get there. So what would take 10 minutes in Sydney is like, I don't know, half an hour, 35 minutes here.
Oh, wow.
So the other place has got proper grass chipping green, four chipping greens off grass. It's awesome.
That's cool. And what's TaylorMade's investment there? Why have they invested there in Vietnam and created that performance place?
Yeah, so it's I think they're still connected to the Thailand market in a way, so they're not quite independent yet. But they just wanted to put a performance center in, something that's quite different here. And there's a lot of indoor golf places here, but nothing really that's been set up with TrackMan and putting, the gym together, just giving people, I guess, that this high quality product where they can go in, they can get a great service, they can get all the, they've got the top tech there. It's really good.
And people are really taking to it, like they're adapting to it quite well.
Yeah, it's a funny one here. It's they kind of like indoor, but sometimes don't like indoor. It's definitely going to be a time of educating why letting indoor might be good, or at least obviously without the TrackMan outside or GC Quad outside, why that indoor could be a really good experience, and especially with the fitness there as well, it all being in one place. It's taking a bit of educating, but I think you do well.
Is there many international golf coaches around you?
There's a couple. There's not heaps, not as many as maybe you might find elsewhere, but I know about probably 4 guys.
Yeah,
I know one of the Aussies that were here. He went back, I think, last year. He's been some time here, but he went back to I'm not sure, maybe Melbourne or Brisbane. But otherwise, there's a few, not heaps, but there's a few around.
And like, what attracted you to moving to Vietnam with the family?
Well, we came here in 2016, so we're here for 2 years already, and we had to come back. Mm-hmm. Long story short, we had some complications with the birth, so we thought there might be a chance of surgery when my daughter was born, so we kind of had to go back, right? Mm-hmm. And then we were kind of settled back in Australia, and then we had an opportunity to come back, and we always felt like we weren't done here. We always felt there was more for us to accomplish than the 2 years that we had before, so we kind of jumped at the opportunity.
From a personal standpoint with kids, and you've got kids, what's it like without that, that immediate support network around you? Does it have its challenges?
It does. Like we've talked to a few people about this, right? They say, just get a nanny. And I mean, it's very, very affordable to get a nanny, but we both want to be parents. And I mean, especially after teaching so many kids here and seeing just the different dynamics when there is a nanny, full-time nanny involved versus not, it's like we both want to be there for our daughter and both have that influence in her life. So not going down that road made it difficult, definitely made it difficult because, you don't have mum and dad to call on, hey, look, we're both working tonight. Just, can you come over? Can you come over after Eva? So, it's very different. Very different when we live. But to be fair, like even when we had we were only in Sydney near parents for maybe a year before we moved up the coast.
That's right.
So we're kind of used to it, but it's certainly a different dynamic being overseas.
I can share an experience with you when I know some people that live, in a different country who have nannies, couple nannies. And I think as well is you've got to have the discipline as being a parent, because I've seen it kind of abused from a parent to a degree where there's like, I'll just go out, I'll just go play more golf, or just because, the nanny's going to go look after the kids, and all of a sudden they just, are just kind of becoming a little bit selfish. So I can understand a little bit in regard to, why you've gone down that route as well. I really do.
Yeah, we could talk for a while on this. I've seen that. I've seen that heaps.
Yeah, okay.
And it's just a job as well, I think, for the nannies until, I mean, obviously you do create really good connection with them. I mean, we've got a lady who comes and does, cleans a house for a couple hours every day, right? And we felt like we had a really good connection with her. I mean, and that's 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Like if we had someone full time, like she'd be part of the family.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's, takes a while to get there, and then, it's still a job and they're not your kid. Yeah. Sorry, it's not their kid. So, I mean, when is this a different dynamic when it's your kid? And, you want the best for them. And I know definitely a lot of kids here you see them not getting maybe the education they would if a parent was involved.
Yeah. I get it. No, I get it. And I'm sure a lot of people listening to this are thinking the same thing and nodding around, right? Because we have lots of, I call it the time poor dad, the nerdy golfer, a lot of engineers listen in, a lot of golf coaches listen in. Now, let's just get into it, right? So how does it work where you coach? So you coach, let's just say I'm assuming the driving range is the main place where you coach, right? That's where I see a lot of stuff on socials.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. And so how do you coach out of there? Do you coach like kids with programs? Are you doing one-off types of lessons? Do you have kids committed to a plan? What type of coaching do you do?
Yeah, so I I run a few programs. I do some one-on-ones. I've pushed a junior program like group training. So we started with 6 kids a group. Got a bit much. I thought, let's take it back to 4, and I found the quality was a lot better. So I've done this for the last 2 years and kind of refined as I go. But yeah, I generally on Saturdays is a full-on day. So I've got about 5 groups that I run just back to back on the hour, which is really good. And then throughout normally after school. So mainly I'm teaching a lot of juniors. So after school, 3:30 to sometimes 7:30, 8:30. We're teaching. Some kids, the better kids, will want one-on-one. I might do a couple like 2-to-1s. I just run through my own program that I've kind of created and refined as we go. To their surprise, it's not always about hitting golf balls. We try and tie in a lot of movement training as well, teaching them to throw, teaching them I've got a T-ball and a baseball bat. So we do some hitting, some arm speed, and just learning to strike a ball. Definitely a little bit more simple than just a golf swing, but just trying to have that holistic approach to it so the kids can really, have a good opportunity to get better.
So interesting that. So when you coach kids, it's interesting. I was having a conversation with someone about this the other day in regard to, relating that a child's skill level and the development also around what they can do physically, like throwing, right? Like I'm sure you might see someone who's not a very good thrower of the golf ball as a child, and it generally can relate back to their golf swing, right? I think of the trail arm mechanics in the golf swing. It's just like throwing, right? You got your trail wrist moving, extension radial, your elbows bending, your arms lifting. It's just like throwing a ball. So do you feel like that you're trying to help skill these kids? Because are these kids also playing other sports, or are they just kind of one in on golf?
Most are playing, an array of sports, mainly through school. Nothing. Yeah. Some of the kids are, golf's the main focus, but again, encouraging them to keep playing. I've actually had a mum message me 2 days ago. My boy he got into the golf team, which is exciting. He wants to get better. Can we book another one-on-one each week? He's going to stop. I told him to stop playing tennis. And I said to her, no, we're not doing another one-on-one. He will continue to play tennis. He needs to keep playing tennis to make him better long-term. So it's just, that in itself is just trying to teach parents about just that becoming an athlete first, which for her TPI talk heaps about that. And I think, like for me, I grew up playing heaps of sports and lots of baseball. Lots and lots of baseball before I chose to play golf at like 14 or 15. So trying to get parents to that, and I've seen a lot of friends who pick up golf now who used to play baseball with, and they're really, really good, exceptionally good. It's just trying to educate them that way to go, hey, look, the kids have to learn to move well. If they can move well, they can hit a golf ball.
When do you think is an appropriate time, say for that mother that called you and said, Ryan, I'd like, little Johnny to stop playing tennis now? What age would you say, it's not a bad idea?
Yeah, I think around 14, 15, somewhere around there. I think part of it again, it's all about what the kid wants to achieve, right? And if a kid wants to be this, I was talking about this 3 boys I train, they're all good golfers, and they've got some friends who don't go to school anymore. They're in grade 9. They do 2 hours online every day and they play golf. Yeah. I think it's their choice, and that's cool. But I think just the social aspect and enjoying being a kid. So you got so much time to make as a golf professional. Not that no one doesn't want to win, the under 15s championship, but at the end of the day, no one's going to care if you win that. And the PGA Tour, right?
Mate, under 15 championship, I talk about it all the time when some of my kids might fail at a tournament or something. I say, you do think Tiger Woods really cares about something he didn't win when he was under 9? Even though he would have won it, right? But it's not something he sits there in his career and go, oh, I'm so glad I won that under 9s trophy, right? But
so I keep encouraging my kids to keep playing other sports. I think, again, I refer back to TPI. They've been a huge influence on what I've done. And from memory, I think they, recommended 14, 15. But hey, if I got a kid who likes playing another sport and they're enjoying that, play through school. And when you finish school, cool, let's just dive in full on golf. Golf's going to be pretty full on in the last couple of grades of school, but if you're enjoying playing tennis as well, then go play it.
I think as well, Flats, is that there is an opportunity for a mental burnout too if they go all in on golf, right? So I think that's also one of the things as well as mentally can overburn. I was only having a conversation with Will about this yesterday, Flickcroft, about this yesterday in regard to a couple of, kids who aren't kids anymore, who aren't playing anymore and who could have been on tour, right? So, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting in that regard there. What's it like? Do you find that teaching the kids are different in Vietnam than teaching the kids in Australia?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe a little bit. I think the coaching, I think kids in Australia who come for lessons genuinely really enjoy it. I think some of the kids that I teach, their parents want them to learn, and not your stereotypical like, hey, you must be the best at this, you must learn, but like they're kind of like, hey, you're going to learn golf while you're at school because it's a good skill to know afterwards. They may turn up and this is not their favorite lesson of the week, but these kids, like after school, like they've got golf lesson, they've got tennis lesson, they've got badminton, they've got piano, they got this, they got that. It's just like after school is just like, okay, let's go back to school and go see all your private teachers. So I think it's different in the sense that when you have a kid in Australia who's coming and there's like the parents have chatted about it with them and like, hey, you want to get better at golf? Cool. We're going to get you into golf lessons.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something that I want to say that I hope it doesn't come across. It's not racist. I know it's not. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother trying to say it. If it is, you can tell me. I'll edit it out. But is that I coach quite a few, good like Asian kids from Sydney, right, who come down to see me. And I find it sometimes as well to get a little bit difficult body read on them, like the language, the body language in regard to, I'm like, you having fun? Like, you want to be here? You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, I'm having fun. Okay, cool. Just checking. Like, just making sure that you want to be here, right? Like, your mum and dad aren't here now. Like, just checking. And, one of my other students in Victoria, like, is a world beater, right? He's a 15 or plus something, right? Plus 2 or 3 or something. He's doing really well. And I talk to him and on FaceTime and we have our calls and he gives me nothing, right? Gives me nothing. I'm thinking, man, this guy's bored as. But then he sends me the really nicest message after. So anyways, that's just something that I've found. It's just a little bit of the body language. I've struggled a little bit to try and get a read on it because obviously as a coach, right, you're always reading, obviously we're looking at data, outcome, and we're trying to see the I guess the satisfaction from that golfer in regards to, are they happy with the information? Are they comfortable with what's going on here? And I'm always reading the body language to see because, like, hey, why did you make that grunting noise? Anyways, I have had that challenges, but
it's taken me like a year to get through some of the kids. And now it's just like we come there and have a good time. I got one boy, he's like the hardest worker I've ever met in my life. He's so disciplined. And I teach one of his friends, he's like, man, he gets straight A's at school. I tell him to do something, he does it. And it's so funny. It took a while to get through to him. I even asked his mum, is he having a good time? And she goes, yeah, he's just been quiet, cool. But he's locked in. And like he'll hit the shot. I go, how's that feel? And like, and then like 10 minutes later in the lesson, how'd that one feel? Great. I'm like, yeah, great. And I was like, that's the most boring great I've ever heard in my life. Like he's just, but he's just locked in and just on a mission. It's so good.
And you don't have any language barriers over there with students?
No,
or you do have some?
No, I would have taught a couple adults. Maybe they don't speak any English, or there's just like a yes as a nod. I've used Google Translate, but with all the kids, they're all go to international schools, essentially all know English.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, never really had an issue with language barrier, which is good.
All right. So let's talk about some coaching. So when you're coaching, I know that, obviously your Instagram page is Flats Golf and Fitness, right? But I know you've always had a passion for the fitness side in regards to it. Were you into health and fitness before your kind of golf coaching journey as well? And then you just this became organic and blended into you? Like, how did it work?
Yeah, so I think as soon as I finished school, I started the gym, started training, and I loved it. I just enjoyed it. Enjoyed getting stronger. I knew it was good for golf, and I just enjoyed it. And then I kind of got to the point where, again, similar to like I finished a traineeship and played for a few years, and I enjoyed just coaching people. So I started that coaching journey, and then I was still going to gym plenty, and then I was like, I enjoy the fitness. So then I went and down the fitness route and got certified there. And I was like, I just enjoyed teaching people, right? And I enjoyed going to the gym. I was like, well, cool. How about I learn more about this and learn how to coach people in the gym as well? And then eventually blended the two together. And yeah, here we are. So yeah, I think it's more always a passion. Both of my things that I do started as a passion and it's turned into a career, I guess.
So do you do a screening pretty much with everyone who you coach?
Mostly. Sometimes it's a partial screening, but some of the kids who are serious, other people who are serious, I go, cool, let's take 45 minutes, 30 minutes. Let's go through this. Gives me more information. Some of the kids, it's a tricky one because I'm at them. I'm like, especially the kids who are serious. So let's say we do some screens and you got to get better at this, got to get better at this. Here's what I want you to do. And you check your sim every week. Did you do them? No. Did you do them? No. Why not? I'm lazy. I'm like, well, at least you're honest. But a lot of them just don't want to do the work.
It's interesting. Like that was going to be one of my next questions in regard to like, getting the buy-in because, we know that there's so many different, more important things than just the mechanic side. So I'm a bit of like a biomechanic expert when it comes to golf swing, but, I'm also big on data collection and, I've got heaps of stuff there, up my skill list in regards to exercise side of things with all my online students. And, I think as well as a golf coach, you can get tired of trying to get a buy-in, right? Like I need you to understand the importance. This is a really important pillar to our golf coaching right now and our golf journey. How are you going like with the differences between being in Australia and Vietnam? Are you getting similar resistance or similar type of students, or like is it pretty much similar in the West and what you're getting over there, or as in a buy-in?
I think so. I feel like I had a cool group down at Trident Movement when I used to train before we came over here. That's where I was worked down there a couple of days a week in the gym. We had the simulator set up as well. And I think the kids who came there, I was there with them twice a week, and they would come in twice a week, and they were motivated. They were there, driven, ready to go, and they would do the work outside of that. So I think the buy-in's a bit harder now to most students. I've got a couple, and one in particular who's like, when his skill level, when his golf skill level matches up, like he'll work his way to being really, really good at golf.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, there's not a lot of them, unfortunately, and it's because you're like, it just breaks your heart. You're like, man, I'm giving you this. I want to go all in with you, but you're just not going there. You see so much potential. No promises you're going to make it to the top. No, but you got such potential to be really, really good and have some amazing experiences. Will you make it? I don't know. But you've got a potential to at least put yourself in the discussion. So
when you are coming up with strategies in regard to getting students to implement some certain things within your coaching that you want them to do, have you had any changes in regard to setting up the programs or expectations? Have you tried to tweak it a little bit to try and encourage them to kind of buy in?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm definitely get the parents involved, and some of the parents are really good. And they're like, they've kind of the family discuss it together. And like, yeah, cool, we'll do this as a family to see you two guys, to lift up. And I think I honestly, though, like now even just talking about it, I think a lot of it is golf is not golf. Like when you teach a kid in Australia, right, they might have dreams to be on the PGA Tour. They might have dreams to be in the club team, whatever it is, right? I think here a lot of it is more about business. It's about a kid coming to you to learn the skills that they need because, I was talking to a mate of mine the other day. I go, hey, you want to have a game of golf soon? He's like, I don't have any time. I was like, oh, okay, no worries. He goes, yeah, I'm playing twice a week, but every time I go, it's about business. They're going out there, they're doing deals on the golf course, they're chatting about stuff on the golf course, and that's, I feel like here especially, and maybe it's all, more in Asia, there's just a lot of business talk on the golf course. So the kids to come out and be an 18 handicap, be a 9 handicap when they finish school, be competent on the golf course is like the end goal for a lot of them.
Yeah. Interesting. So what type of stuff, are you asking the kids? So I'm assuming you're setting up some form of program. Is this like a weekly program that's involving like 3 days of training? What does it look like?
Yeah, so a lot of the kids will come once a week for either a group or private. Some do twice a week. And then we're just trying to develop all different skills as we go through that. So as I said before, we talk about throwing, hitting, it comes out of kicking, all sorts of different skills there. And then, I will try and give them just some very simple tasks week to week, like, hey, we'll check can they touch their toes? And most kids can't, which was quite surprising when you realize that most kids can't even just simply touch their toes because they're all on the computer and whatever week to week.
Sitting down too much. Yeah, okay.
And there's just don't do as much activity as they used to. So I go, look, this is a thing. I want you to do this every single day. And it's going to take you 1 minute every day. And then I'll see if they can do it. And I go, like, if they can't do it for a minute a day, it's not enough for them.
Okay.
So, and then we just kind of progress semester or month to month, kind of have a little tweak to the program to change it up a little bit. Try, give them some homework, give them some practical stuff that they can work on. But it's good. I think it's again, you got to find that balance between, that you're teaching a kid after school, he sees you or she sees you once a week. They're likely not going to do, a lot of them aren't going to do much practice between then.
Okay.
And they've got, Wednesday's got piano, they got this, Thursday got this and this, like their schedules are packed. So it's like an English tutoring lesson. It's like you're just in there, it's just a skill, you got to do your best that you can. And if you're lucky, your kid wants to go play, the kid will do 1 or 2 sessions of practice. That's, I think, the difference coming back to Australia and here is if a kid sees you for lessons, he's generally going to practice.
Interesting. Yeah. I guess as well that sometimes as a golf coach, that can become a little bit difficult and unfulfilling. Because as a golf coach, people listen to this and like obviously some parents listening to this is that, we're emotionally invested as much as the time is invested in them as well. And that, I had a really big talking to a kid today about practice. And he kept talking about, I played once since last week, but haven't practiced. I'm like going, using all the analogies in regard to, an NRL player getting a kicking lesson and then saying, I'm not going to try, I'm going to go practice on the weekend against the Bulldogs, right? I said, you're just going to keep getting beaten up if you get a lesson and try and play and work your golf swing out there. So, I really emphasized and I ended up putting a training plan together for him for the week to try and get him locked in because he's got a good opportunity to get better. And I think as well, Flats, right, this is how, I was talking to my coaches in my program the other day about this, was like the number 1 rule in golf coaching is to make sure you don't fuck them up. Number 2 rule, you make them better, right? And it's really difficult to make sure that we put all the strategies in to make sure the player is getting better, because if the player's not getting better, then the system that we've got is broken. I'm not looking good. I want all my students to get better. Like one of my students the other day, we went hard for like 2 months and he came for a lesson every second week. And all of a sudden I'm in the coffee shop and 2 different people that didn't even know each other were telling me how, Pete, you drove the green the other day and Pete did this. And I was like, oh, great, cool. Can I book in? I'm like, I'm away for a month, but I'm booked out for a month when I come back, but just start trying to book in now. So like for me, that it's important within even just my business to make sure my players are getting better, right? So if they're not getting better and they're not putting the work in, it's hard for me to want to coach them, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because we need to, and that's where I think sometimes as well the system's broken, Flats, in regards to the way that we coach. Like a 1 hour lesson or a 1.5 hour lesson, it needs to be different. Like I had a great example today, Flats, right, where a guy named Joshua came for a lesson, right, and he came for a lesson 6 weeks ago, or maybe 5 weeks ago, something like that. Anyways, I typed Joshua into the lesson to keep comparing it, and I coach an online student named Joshua from Korea, or he's from the UK but lives in Korea. I had to keep scrolling down, and in that 5-6 weeks, Josh from Korea sent me 25 lessons. So I had to keep scrolling down to keep doing this comparison to find, because I type in Josh, right? And I'm thinking, man, Josh has got this worked out in Korea because he sent me 25 lessons. I had all this correspondence, and Josh thinks he's doing the right thing, coming to send me once every 5 weeks, but I know who's getting better faster.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I agree, mate. I got a few guys online that are similar sort of thing. It's like a couple of people just have a couple of lessons a week, and I know that I'm out a month, and I know they're grinding. But then you got a couple of people who are going to sign up to your unlimited plan, and you do the same thing. You type in the name and like flip. We've had lots of check-ins this month, and it's just like little back and forth, little bit. It's like having your coach over on your shoulder as you're doing it. It's amazing. Just a little bit. Doing a little bit more often, it's really, really cool. And and you're right, I agree. And it's trying to navigate that in the in-person space. Trying to navigate that is interesting. And then again, it comes back, is the kid actually going to take, or the person going to take advantage of it and actually do it? Yeah. Because I've offered a few of my kids. There's a couple boys I coach and they're good and their parents are on board for the kids getting better. And I was like, guys, send me your swings. It's like they'll see me once a week. And I was like, cool, that's fine. You're practicing in 2 days, send me your swing. Practicing a couple of days up, send me your swing, send me your stats. One of them, the same boy I referred to before, who works his backside off, is the guy who sends me everything every single time. Yeah. And the others, I'm like, there. I was like, I would have killed for my coach to give me the open slather to send me as many swings as he wants. He's not charging my parents for it, and I can just send him as many swings as I want. I would have killed for that. And I think it highlights the hunger.
It's interesting because I had a conversation, it would have been released that people listened to the conversation with Nick Flanagan before this. And it was a really great conversation. You haven't listened to it, you please go listen to it. Nick Flanagan, US amateur champion, then, played the Masters the next year at the age of 20 with Tiger Woods behind him. Incredible story, right?
Mm.
But I was talking to him. He grew up in Belmont and I grew up in, a country town in the south coast, New South Wales. And I was saying that for me to get better, right, I had to take my shag bag of balls. I had to hit balls at a like a soccer fields place, and I had to hide in the corner because the council ranger used to chase me because I was doing this illegal activity of hitting balls at the range, right? Because you got the sign that says no golf balls, right? And I had no driving range within QE. The golf course had no driving range. So for me to actually turn professional and get good at the game of golf, I was hiding and working after hours. I knew the council ranger wasn't working, running away from the council on my push bike, losing my golf balls to try and get better at golf. Kids today have got Top Tracer, TrackMan, unlimited range balls at the facility, unlimited access to a coach if you like. Come to my training programs that I've got set up for you. And you still can't get them there. It's just like the motivation. It's like, guys, I would have died for this when I was a child. And I kind of was talking to Nick about the hunger, and he spoke about, I asked him a conversation that I thought a question that I thought was a bit wacky, but he's right on board, was that when you used to pick up your own shag bag of balls, you used to practice harder and concentrate more because you didn't want to lose your balls and make sure they go off space. You make sure you hit them in a good spot. And he said, mate, spot on. His dispersion pattern would have been a lot tighter than mine. Sorry, people listen to that. I'm just repeating it, but true, right? Like just anyway, it's just the difference in that hunger, right? That's going
up. Because I remember, your shag bag, you got to flick the ball up, put it in, flick it, and the kids are like, that's like the number one skill. How do you do that? So here's a shag bag, and go pick up your own golf balls, and you'll figure it out. It's like they all want to know. It's like this is it. This is what it used to be like. And
that's so true. That's true. There's no one there just raking them off now for you themselves.
That's right.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I'm glad you agree. And I'm noticing that little change. But I've got some for parents listening and the great kids I teach. I've got some absolute ripper kids who are working super hard. What's it like being an international golf coach in Vietnam? Are people more attracted to you being an international golf coach? And how do you go about that kind of marketing side of things?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. A lot of people want to be taught by a foreigner. Yeah. So that in itself is, that's going forward, which is great. But I think a lot of it's been word of mouth. You have a good lesson with someone. A lot of people talk here and, you give a good lesson or you give a good experience to a kid and they talk. At the end of the day, the parents just want the kids to be happy. And
awesome.
If the kid gets a bit better and he's having a good time while he's doing it, they talk and then they talk and the next minute someone else talks. And then you teach a good kid, who does really well. I was fortunate to work with one boy who actually used to teach 6 years ago. Well, not 6, but 8 years ago now. I still got videos of him when he was in like grade 3.
No way.
Or grade 4 maybe. What is he now? Grade 10. But anyway, so I started with him. Anyway, came back and started teaching him again. And he was playing for 18 and 6 to 12, 18 months later he's playing off scratch, which is really cool.
That's very cool.
It's like you do that and then people talk, oh, cool, and then you get more people that way. So it's a lot more word of mouth than this marketing. I've had maybe 1 or 2 people come through from seeing me on TikTok or something like that. But mainly just word of mouth. People talk.
It's amazing how people are attracted to seeing success from other people as well, right? Like, like for instance, I might coach a professional golfer that does well in a tournament. I'm like, all I've done with that guy is set up and takeaway. Mate, it's a lot harder to fix your over the top, 10-degree out to in slice playing off 32 than it is to fix that pro, right? So,
that's it. And then it gets to that level, right? So he goes from 18 to scratch, and now it's not easy, right? But it's easier than versus me trying to teach this person who hasn't hit a ball before how to get up in the air. It's like a few little tweaks, and then okay, I'll come back, and it's a lot more obviously part. That sort of training when they get to that level is going to be very, very different to, your 30 or 30 handicapper trying to get the ball up in the air. But,
especially with elite golfers, you've generally got the framework in place and just letting them try to grow and trying to stay out of the way. And I just keep measuring the framework and making sure it's still working, making sure it's still helping us trend in the right direction.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Now, tell me about, so obviously you said that word of mouth is one of the things that helps you, and people are attracted to the, coming to see a foreigner that you said there in your coaching. What is golf like in Vietnam? Is golf becoming more and more popular in Vietnam?
It's an interesting time for golf. I think that, to be fully transparent, I think that there's a lot of things that are growing and going on, but I don't think there's enough of a golfing base here to support how the big dreams of the era of golf. So I think it's probably plateaued out. Everyone had that big surge through 2019, 2021. And there's a lot of talk about a new golf course here, new golf course there. I don't see the golfing population for that to keep that all going. So, honestly, there's quite a few golf courses around now. A few new ones have been built. I don't know how they're all surviving, but they are. But there's still new people starting to play the game. It's just not what it was. And I think it's a great place to come for like a holiday destination, come for a golf trip. But the industry itself, after talking to a few people in the industry with business and industry, they've definitely seen it kind of plateau a bit. Yeah. So
tell me, have you ever thought about running golf tours in Vietnam?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. It's been one of those things of like, hey, I'd love to do that, and I'd love to do a lot of things, but where's the time?
I got a travel guy that can help you. Yeah. I'll put you in touch with him. Yeah, best in travel. Yeah, he's great. He'll do it.
I've wanted to for a while.
Yeah, if people listen to his best in travel, I'm a bit of an ambassador, so that will work for you. It's it's good stuff. Well, that's great. It's interesting to hear about it kind of plateauing. I think that's golf in general, right? And what will help it is a bit of a golfing superstar coming out of Vietnam as well, right? That'll definitely play a big role in it there. But it's it's interesting to kind of hear that, because it's not really, obviously it's a golfing destination for holiday stuff. Is something that I'll generally hear a lot. I have a friend that goes there, quite a lot to go on golf trips, and he loves it, right? Thinks it's fantastic. But about that kind of competitive space within Vietnam as well, right? Mm. And hopefully something like this tailor-made place will help encourage a type of training, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's another place on maybe 40 minutes away that opened up, and it's like a multi-sport complex, and he's got about 6 or 7 golf bays in there. So things like that as well, which would be good. Good for your space, offering that sort of environment, I think, multi-sport complex, which is exciting. People all took off about 12 to 6 months ago. It just went crazy. Okay. And I know a lot of golfers went, I'll just play pickleball because it's faster, takes less time. And then a bunch of guys that kind of reverted back now, they've kind of got injured, or they're like, wasn't what I thought it was. But just these multi-sport complexes and having golf in there as an option is pretty, could go pretty well here.
That's unreal. Tell me, I want to ask you something. I know you're a man of faith, right? Yeah. How's your practice gone over there? Do you have churches over there?
Yeah. So we've got an international church we go to. I would say the leap coming over here has given me the opportunity to fully trust in my faith, in God, in Jesus.
Yeah.
And has done wonders, I think, for me and my family, and just I think not only in our faith, but I think the people that we are and who we are.
Yeah.
Losing complete control. We came over here for a job, and I quit after 14 days.
That's you haven't told me about that story yet. You told me about that. You told me you're going to tell me that, but I haven't spoken to you about it yet.
No, that'll be a story for. I'll see. You've got to be a little bit careful. That'll be a story when we get back home to Australia one day. But it was not what we expected, right? So I think that that was testing. That was testing, because my wife had a business. She's done well for 3 years, and it was like, we're going to move over here. This is a great opportunity. It could be exceptional for our family, give our daughter this amazing experience. And then after 14 days, that happens, and you're like, okay, I'm starting from scratch now, and I've got a lot of overheads. As international school fees aren't cheap here, and we've got to get it going. So we had no choice but to have a bit of faith.
It is interesting about how when you've got your backs to the wall and you've really got to hand it over in those situations, and how it can connect you more, right? Connect to your higher power, God, whatever you want to use, and about that, and the realization of just how powerless you are and how you're not so much in control. And some of those situations, like, I'm not too sure how you look at it, but you could probably look at that as like some form of a blessing, right?
100%. 100%. And I think sitting here where we are now, we came over here with an intention the first time to do a lot more for people than for ourselves. And that didn't quite happen. And then after 2 years kind of securing myself back in, my job and doing what we're doing, and things are relatively steady, it's like I've got a second chance to fulfill a greater purpose than just ourselves, but to really help people who are in need. Which I love helping people with their golf, right? I love helping people in the gym. I love helping with their golf. You see them light up when they hit this amazing shot. You get these messages, mate, I've just never hit the ball so good. Thank you so much. That fulfills you. But I think for me, that deeper purpose is really helping people who struggle with the basic necessities of life, not having access to clean food, clean water, shelter, clothing. That's kind of what really gets me going. So we were able to raise a bunch of money and using golf to do that. I did a golf charity day. We raised 4,000 meals, which was amazing for this children's hospital. And sick. I went there and gave it, we're giving them away. They give away like about 400 at a time. They can't take all 4,000. But we did that 400 at a time. And then just like the experience that I had standing there, and I didn't get involved. I stood back. I didn't want to get him. I don't want to get involved. I just want to sit back and then you guys can give it to them. And I was watching people run from the street, like 50 meters down the street running. So they didn't miss out on a meal, which cost $1. And that put everything in perspective.
Yeah, it's real. And I think it's easy to bury your head in the sand and not be exposed to it, right?
Oh, 100%.
And to not know that's what is a reality for lots of people in their lives. And I think as well as that, it's a practice as well, right? People forget how good it feels to be giving and helpful until they do it. Like, oh, that feels good. This should be more of a regular thing. You know what I mean? I'm the same. Sometimes I think we live in a world where we're, sometimes our backs against the wall and we're quite selfish and doing things, in our own family or whatever. But it's different. I help a family in Indonesia with the schooling fees. Who we're going to go see when we're over in Indonesia next week. And it's a great feeling. It's a really nice feeling, to be able to help them. And they send me photos of the kids wearing my kids' old clothes and stuff. And it's, it is cool. It makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, right?
Yeah. No, it's something special you can do.
It's funny, and I was talking to my wife about this years ago, right? About the true act of giving, right? And it's easy to say, oh yeah, I give my old clothes to St. Vincent de Paul or something, right? But I had an experience where I was in Indonesia once, and these people were not very well off. They didn't have anything, right? And he kept looking at my shoes. I had like checkered Vans on, and they were brand new. I just bought them, right? Like $120. And he was like, he really liked looking at my shoes. I could tell. He kept looking at them. And I kind of walked away, and I thought, I should give them to him. Like, this is me, in my practice, of what I like to do. Like, I was like, I don't want to. I want to keep these shoes. And I did it. And, it makes you feel good. You know what I mean? It makes you feel good. That true act of giving something that you actually want to keep away is different. It's very different.
Completely selfless, right? It's. I don't think that's the test. They're the tests that we go through. You might be in a storm, but can you be kind? Can you show kindness? Can you, might be in a financial struggle, but you realize there's someone there who is maybe worse off than you. Can you still give in that and have peace in that? And I think that's the biggest thing for us with our faith, is that even in the storms, we have peace, which I know a lot of people struggle with. I think happiness can be found in a lot of things, and a bit of joy here. And, you kind of maybe, people find it in many different places. But I think true peace, you can only find in one place. And for us, that's what we believe. And I think it's like you're in that storm and you're going through those challenges, but yet something inside is just like, man, it's all going to be okay.
That is interesting you say that about finding peace in the storm, because it's easy to think you're running well when things are well, right? When things aren't well, that's when you'll truly find out how you're truly running, right?
That's a true test.
Yes. I am not perfect in that flats. I had a bit of about a year ago. But yeah, no, I completely get that. That's great. Say that again. What did you say about the storm? Say it again. Repeat it.
I think I know you're in the right place when you can find peace in the storm.
Love it. Love the podcast, mate. Plus, it's been very, very inspiring. Very nice. Very nice difference from the type of technical conversations I might have with some of the guests that come on here. Now, tell me, Flats, what does it look like the future for you? Are you staying in Vietnam? Come back to Australia? What are you doing?
Yeah, mate. I mean, at the moment, we're staying. We committed to, I think we said 5 years. I feel like something we talk about, we said 3. We said, like, this time we're going to go. And unless there's a health complication with my daughter or Hannah, they both have pacemakers, then we're staying and we're going to see this 5 years out, and then we go from there. And we're open to planning longer, staying longer. But we feel like, with this, for me, with what I'm stepping into now, it feels like it's just beginning again. But it's tough, Unfortunately, people aren't here forever, so you miss some things with family. And it's definitely seeing Eva with her grandparents. It's pretty special when they get to hang out, and it's sad to think, you kind of not take it away from them, but it'd be nice for them to spend more time together too. But also you got to feel like you got to follow through what you're called to do, or what you feel you're called to do above all else.
Would you do anything differently about your location? Like, so you're talking about you being down there in Ho Chi Minh, good spot. You think that'll be the home base? Yeah,
definitely. I think we found some great friends here. We've got 2 sets of like Korean families who we're just like, they're like their family. Their family. Yeah. And we love it here. We love it here.
Yeah.
So.
And, I'll put it out there as well. I might do an intro in regard to this about, some coaches that want to reach out to you. I think it's quite attractive, to take our PJ membership and to travel the world with it and live in different countries. And it's great to see people witnessing and people doing it and fulfilling that and, taking that opportunity. So I think you've got a lot to share in that as well. And it's been great to hear you talk about it all. And, I'll put your contact details down in the show notes. People to come and get in touch with you as well. Yeah, we have lots of coaches that listen in. So Flats, mate, it's been unreal. Anything else you want to add to the podcast, mate?
No, mate, thanks for having me. It's great. I love what you're doing. It's great, not only with the golfing side, but the podcast side and sharing people's stories. And it's great, mate. It's great to be part of. It's great to share a little bit. Man. Hopefully someone's inspired. Just one person. That's awesome. Many people, that's even better. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to, share my story. Great to come out here, chat with you. So thanks for giving me a platform to do that. And it's awesome, mate. Appreciate it.
It's awesome. Thanks, Flats. You're the man.
Thanks, Bob.